I give the floor now to Khmer Kampuchea Krom from Federation.
Madam Chair and distinguished permanent members, good afternoon to all my Indigenous relatives. When discussing Indigenous peoples' right to self-determination, we, the Khmer Kampuchea Krom peoples, the Indigenous peoples of the Mekong Delta in southern Vietnam, find that it is very important to highlight the presence of elders in the community and their impact on the youth. The older generation has encouraged embracing our Khmer Krom identity through persistent awareness of our Indigenous identity and public education of our human rights. These efforts by advocates extend past enlightening the youth and dives into establishing a strong Indigenous identity that can be carried on for generations. Presently, there have been multiple arrests made on our elders who have been publicizing the fundamental rights that Indigenous people have, as stated in UN DRIP. Advocacy work such as this promotes self-determination, but is often met by the Vietnamese government with hostile actions and a depreciation for Indigenous human rights. The unjust imprisonment of our elders is ridding the youth of proper guidance from elders who have a lineage's worth of knowledge and wisdom that nurtures generational self-determination. It's become commonplace for Vietnam to sentence human rights defenders to prison. The constant beration and incarceration of our advocates is a violation of our Indigenous rights to exercise our freedom of expression. Defending our rights, promoting our rights, and maintaining our rights as Indigenous people is our inherent right. It is viciously punitive for our activism and advocacy rights to always be criminalized and degraded as political dissent. We are not ethnic minorities. We are Indigenous peoples. We will not be silenced. We will continue to communicate our issues through local and international platforms to bring light to the discrimination that we face as Indigenous peoples. As Madam Chair Hindu Omaru Ibrahim has graciously and chiefly stated at the opening of the 23rd session, we must give the youth hope in the case of fear. In addition, I urge that the UNPFII continue to empower voices of the Indigenous youth and to listen to us when we speak, especially when we face opposition from the government. You can try to bind us, but you can never take away our minds. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your statement.